Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to Soldier Speaks Reloaded or Soldier Speaks English, the channel. We had a very candid discussion with the Ashraf Khan, Indian-based journalist from Gujarat, PM Modi's on state, and we had a very interesting discussion in a way that it was being heard in India, and the feedback from the discussion is that. We were talking about the air pollution. But that was one of the topic in our last program. So I've been told that the Delhi's pollution is not because of the crackers of Diwali. It is because of the population density and the dust and the vehicle emission. All right, that's what they're saying. And they're saying that well, the feedback is that they do want us to know, and they've shared the documents with us. And they're also saying that the AQI for this year is very good. The air quality is exceptionally well. Well, it may go up later on in the year, but then the Delhi government will carry out cloud seeding to get it on the lower side. And that is the feedback. It means, Ashraf, it means that we are being watched. People are watching us. That's why they're sending us the feedback. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's making a difference. Other than Diwali crackers, haystack that we have in different villages around Delhi, in Punjab, Amritsar, and all the villages, there's a traditional way of burning haystacks that also adds up to the pollution density. Even the burning crackers, if you go to Delhi, you literally see clouds, clotted clouds up your head, and you don't see clear skies. Sometimes it's very hard to have fresh air breathing when you are even on the streets in Delhi. Go into the streets on the Delhi and near the embassy roads. We have different embassies, the Parliament Road. Dense clouds up on your heads, cloudy clouds of smoke. So, I don't know when you're talking about the air quality index and you're saying, oh, no, it doesn't add and it's just the vehicles and emission that's actually adding up. But I would say it's a club addition of everything that's actually damaging the environment wholly, not in India, but even countries on the border side, affecting Pakistan,
Yeah, so
Nepal, or other countries,
yeah.
major
So there
cities like
another comparison in Delhi and Lahore. They are saying the same thing that the air quality index during the 8 years is best right now. Barring 2020, the year of lockdown due to COVID, yeah, that is there. Anyway, moving forward, today we first of all we are going to talk about the Afghanistan diplomacy, the far right politics, the media freedom, global perception of our region, and then the economic direction of the region, and then the regional cooperation between, especially India and Pakistan, which is not very good, definitely. But first and foremost, the Afghanistan issue, a lot has been said about it. In Pakistan, they are calling the Afghan as different names as, oh, why they have gone to India, oh, they are Namak Haram, and that is nonsense. I honestly nonsense. But the Punjab-centric mindset in Pakistan, which is ruling the country through the generals, and the generals are also from Punjab, that is something really obnoxious. Firstly, secondly, India's the foreign minister recently met Taliban officials. So, what do you think? What's behind this outreach, and how does it contrast with Pakistan's troubled engagement and the recent clashes between Afghanistan and Pakistan? How do you see that playing from an Indian perspective? I'll give you the Pakistani perspective. In fact, I've already given you the Pakistani perspective. I'll give you a bit more. I'll give you the Afghanistan's perspective as well. But tell me the Indian perspective first, Ashraf.
on 10th of October 2025, Adil, that External Affairs Minister Jay Shankar met actually Mr. Amir Khan Muttaqi, the Taliban foreign minister. And it was actually a very strategic step from Delhi, marking a very significant diplomatic engagement. India announced plans to upgrade its technical mission in Kabul to full embassy, reaffirm commitments to humanitarian development projects, and humanitarian emphasizing shared concern over cross-border terrorism. Actually, this one is an outreach that actually reflects a pragmatic shift in India's stance on Afghanistan policy. Now, reasons behind India's outreach are several. Some of them are like countering regional rivals, with relations between Taliban and Pakistan deteriorating sharply. India actually sees an opportunity in disguise. India is seeing an opportunity to reduce Pakistan's influence in the Taliban's backfire, and it could be a Pakistan historical support for the Taliban that is actually backfired, creating a friction that New Delhi can leverage to secure its own interest, such as preventing Afghan soil from being used for anti-Indian activities. China's growing footprint in Pakistan, having a belt, a road, taking an initiative in security and anti-terrorism that actually they're conveying it on a global platform. The Taliban has repeatedly assured India that it will not allow terrorist groups and operate from its soil against India, and even cricketing relations. You see, Afghanistan is coming very near to India, so it's kind of countering political motive, countering sports motive, countering motive sort of when the deterioration is happening between Pakistan and Afghanistan. India is actually seeing it as an opportunity to leverage, and this aligns India's concerns over with groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba, and Jaish-e-Mohammed potentially using Afghanistan as a base. The meeting actually include cross-border economic and development interest. If you further, think about it, Afghanistan holds vast untapped resources like lithium, copper, rare earth materials critical for India's energy transition. So it's a kind of a very good opportunity for India if Pakistan and Taliban are having a good tension, creating a base for India's interest. Border geopolitical
That is the
acumen. US
that
withdrawal in 2021.
so that is the key,
Post
Ashraf.
US
That
withdrawal, in 2021, India's initially kept distance.
So, Ashraf, from what I understand, if India has to benefit from the rare earth elements which Afghanistan possess, there has to be peace in the region, and it has to pass through Pakistan because the route through
Pakistan.
Chabahar is not feasible, business friendly. भी नहीं है. All right. So, moving
Exactly.
to the far right politics, we see popularism rising both in India and in Pakistan. In Pakistan, we see the religious fundamentalism, mullah military alliance, and in India, we see the political form of far right, that is Hindutva. So, the
Ji.
question is, what are the similarities between the far right politics and the far right narrative in India and the Pakistani religio political populism?
Um, Other, the rising polarization and religio-political narratives are very critical and are sort of very important these days. Polarization indeed in India is escalating. Pakistan and part of the West often fueled by identity-based politics that blend nationalism, religion, and populism. In India, these manifests, through the far-right Hindutva narrative, which through the far-right Hindu cultural and national supremacy under the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, Narendra Modi-led government, and the Amit Shah, the Home Minister of India, actually relates even with Pakistan with the religio-political populism that revolves around Islamic identity, often leveraged by parties like Pakistan Insaf, and more overtly Islamist groups intertwined with military influence. With both share roots in using religion to mobilize masses, otherwise minorities, they operate in distinct contexts that actually shaped by history, governance, and also geopolitics, I would say.
Or so the bottom line is that both are extremist. The extremism is on the both sides of the border.
Ex-
It is not only Pakistan or it is not only India, but the far right narrative in India directly correlates with the
I
religio
have my
political
own. I have my
Pakistan.
own way of saying it. I see orange extremism in India. I see green extremism in Pakistan.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, but Ashraf, in Pakistan, the media is definitely not free. There is crackdown. Arshad Sharif was killed in Kenya. Arshad Sharif, Shaheed, journalist. Recent example, the crackdown, the Pika laws, all kind of different laws. Then the Vigo Dallas, they come and they pick anyone up and they, torture journalists, and journalists have to flee the country. So this is what is happening right now. Comparatively, India is at least
Yes,
free.
I would say yes, yes. I would say India does have a free speech. That there is that space that
Yeah,
you can come up and say. I think the democracy is still alive, but
yeah,
whereas compared to Pakistan, is radical extremism when it comes to speaking. If you can't speak against the system, you can't
mm,
speak against the establishment, and they literally follow you wherever you go. You go to Kenya, you go to UK, you go to United States. These people are behind you.
yeah.
Yes.
So definitely media freedom comparatively is better in India, much better, way better than in Pakistan. Then the global perception. How do you see the global perception of India and Pakistan? If Because it has got a direct impact on diplomacy and investors. Pakistan's economy is in shambles. Nobody is putting money into Pakistan because of the media perception, irrespective of President Donald Trump praising the field marshal and praising the puppet prime minister. But the problem is that nobody likes them. And around the world, nobody even likes President Trump for that matter. So it is naturally a joke. But the question is, how do the Western outlets cover India and Pakistan differently? And why does that matter for investors and diplomacy?
I think we are discussing media freedom here, right? So
No, we
media
are no. We are discussing global perception of India and Pakistan in the media.
global
we,
perception of
we've already come reached a very easy conclusion that there is no comparison between media freedom in India and Pakistan. Definitely, there are crackdown in media in India as well, but comparatively, once you compare it with Pakistan, well, there is no comparison. India is far ahead and far better. But the perception in the Western media about India and Pakistan, that is what we are talking about.
I think the perception actually gives a very good and great definition from the West for what India and Pakistan. If you see the Global Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, that's RSF, India ranks 151 out of 180 countries, an improvement from 159 in 2024 with a score of
Yeah.
32.96 in the very serious category. So if you're even addressing press freedom in India, it's actually jawlessly dropping down. So when we compare with Pakistan, Western instead of the West from both Pakistan and India, um, as we talked about the legal and judicial harassment of journalists, it's more inclined now. I think it's more inclined globally, not even Pakistan, India. If you see the Gulf, you see the Palestine, the Syria, you see the West, even from Russia, even from United States of America, many journalists are actually at the behest of harassment, judicial harassment. Sometimes they throw cases against you, they make your life miserable. Sometimes legal harassment, violence and safety is actually a very typical concern. But I would rather say countries like United Kingdom or countries like United States of America actually see journalists comparatively very safe in India when compared to Pakistan. And I think that's the reason the United Kingdom has recently removed India out of the asylum claiming category with Georgia. So that actually makes a mark from the West, that includes United Kingdom and United States of America. Economic pressures. Now we just discovered Donald Trump, the president of the United States. He actually is not taking seriously the press questions and the press freedom we talked about in the United States, in the arena of United States of America or United Kingdom. You know, these days they literally don't take seriously when the questions are raised from journalists. They just swipe it out. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, for that concern, Prime Minister Narendra Modi doesn't address a press till date. Till date, he hasn't addressed even one press seriously, but he's getting serious questions from the pressers, from the press conferences on different issues. But rather, he has made it more of a monkey bath. It's not like you listen what I say, but I don't listen what your questions. So it's a dictatorially happening of clubbing different journalistic activities and putting down the powers of the constitution. Different constitutions in different time frames. Pakistan's constitution, Indian constitution, American constitution has given some space in the freedom of speech to journalists, and they can actually ask the power questions. This is what journalism is. You actually are there to ask questions to power, to question power. But slowly the importance and things are going down. And maybe I feel, mujhe aisa lagta, I feel digital and social media actually acquiring that space. The importance of the importance of journalism has actually benched down to just digital and social media, and they feel like, okay, we don't want to answer questions to different journalists or different channels. Rather, we have our own Twitter handles, Instagram handles, Facebook handles. We can expose information to people and give them a mind frame. So I
All right.
think this is what it is.
All right, fair enough. I should coming to the economic direction of the South Asia in South Asia and India and Pakistan. Pakistan economy is in shutters because we believe that there is no political stability, and because there is no political stability, there is no economic stability. There is comparative, definitely political stability in India. All right. Now, India's manufacturing push versus Pakistan's dependence on imports. What lessons can Islamabad learn from New Delhi in in this aspect? Do you think?
See, there's the reason, being a Gujarati, from Gujarat, I really believe, Narendra Modi is more of a Gujarati than a politician. We say it Vanya. I don't know how we say in Pakistan, or Urdu glance or English glance. Vanya Gujarati. Very sharp, okay, and always deals monetarily in economic policies, in investing, in.
In fact, that is why he had been elected the prime minister first time to implement the Gujarat economic model on India,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
he did succeed, isn't it?
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't understand, being from Gujarat, the Gujarat blueprint or the Gujarat footprint. I know for some reason, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister or Chief Minister of then Gujarat, was very smart enough to invest and to. I remember he called up Vibrant Gujarat, a summit where he actually invited all the business tycoons from different parts of India and Tata's, Ambani's to come and invest in Gujarat. The same actually is doing in India. Same summits, he wants people to come and uh, invest in India, invest in IT sectors, invest in road developments, highway developments. I think his policies, his frameworks, his infrastructure push will definitely answers in the coming 10 years. What Pakistan can learn from this is stabilization is very important.
Hmm.
Economic
I'm sorry. So the lesson to be learned is that to have economic stability, you need to have political stability in Pakistan, which is not nowhere in the sight. All right. So finally, Ashraf, is there a chance of regional cooperation between India and Pakistan? I know it's an
that
old
smile,
question. Yeah,
Adil, that smile that you gave just says it all.
yeah.
India and
Well,
Pakistan, can actually share a very good heap of interest, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a concern for SARC,
hmm,
Southern Asian Regional Council. He had a
yeah,
concern for that. He
yeah.
tried to work out with Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan, and
Hmm,
Sri Lanka. But for some reason, there's a
hmm,
constant decline. And I feel there's some vested American interest in that, that you
hmm,
see struggles happening in Bangladesh, government pulled down, prime minister left, happened.
hmm,
Same again, they call it Gen Z revolution. I don't know, for some reason. Gen Z revolution happened in Nepal. Same
hmm,
thing happened in Sri Lanka for some years ago. Now, slowly, these things are escalating and taking India in round.
hmm,
I think
hmm,
slowly you will see something happening either in Pakistan or India again. The
hmm,
the Donald Trump-led government actually tried to pull down the Indian government. Is trying to push down initiative by the Modi government. He knows, Donald Trump knows that Modi is very smart. This
hmm,
guy, if he wants, he can do it, because this guy is on his toes every 24/7, taking flights for different policies, different engagements, different ties, and different tensions between countries. So Donald
hmm,
Trump is actually trying to leverage American vested interest by pulling down India on its knees, by
hmm,
in a way of gearing. Gearing means actually circling India, and
hmm,
actually. I would rather say I see even Muni's near relations with Donald Trump is influencing that. There's a reason the current general of Pakistan is in a near situation with President Donald Trump. And he's actually in his influence to listen and do things. Pakistan, if can
but
literally.
Ashraf, that is a transactional relationship. Transactional relationship. The time, or all right, another 3 years of Donald Trump. Do you think India can sustain another 3 years of Donald Trump? By the way,
Now the problem is like Prime Minister Modi is a very, very, what would I say, strong enough, should I say, mentally, that he's actually pursuing the same relations with Russia and getting nearer with Vladimir Putin and finding a substitute relation with, see, Russia and China. China was never on the roster.
Mhm.
China, to be honest, we don't have a good relation with. But this
Mhm.
guy, he's a Gujarati, I told you, one year Gujarati. He's
Yeah.
actually finding out opportunities in crisis. So he's actually behind, both these giants nations to find an optimist option against
Mhm.
Donald Trump, against United States of America. And America doesn't like that for some reason. Donald Trump doesn't want India to be a very near ally of
Mhm.
United States, China or Russia. It actually will lose a partner, a long life partner of the United States of America, and that will influence India and Pakistan. That's the reason the tensions between India and Pakistan are escalating, going down. And now you see Pakistan and Taliban escalating tensions. Pakistan, in order to be, a very neutral and stable economy, need to actually stabilize itself first, coming out of this green extremism, coming out of the grip of different countries, influencing the foreign soil from foreign soil to Pakistan, and again the coup of military is a big damage. Establishment and military has damaged the real indicative constitutional merits and fabric of Pakistan, and it really needs leaders like Imran Khan to come out of jail and take a command. And that's the reason. The problem is that always Pakistan's history, if you see, the leading commanders, leading leaders like Imran Khan were actually either you are assassinated, put behind the bars, thrown out of the Pakistan soil, or you take asylum in different countries. I would rather say commanding leaders, like Imran Khan, commanding leaders like different Benazir Bhutto, for that sake, I would say Benazir Bhutto was even a commanding leader, right? So there's always an influence of foreign soil in Pakistan.
Paid the price. She paid the price with her life, and Imran Khan is paying the price again by being in jail. A man like him was never seen jail in jail. Yeah, so definitely a lot to be learned there.
Me
We
being
don't.
a Khan, Adil Raza Saab, I would say I find Imran Khan as a murshid,
You like PK, you like Khan, so you're very you know.
Maybe I like people who challenge authority. Maybe I like people who are in command, who loves to be in command. Maybe I like people who actually have that brain set to make policies. Maybe that might be a reason that I like people who actually can take decisions, do have a decision making power that will actually you take the country, the state, the province to a proper guide. Somewhere, some future. That's very important. You need to
So,
have a goal at least to lead somewhere.
so, ladies and gentlemen, you can see why Ashraf Khan, I've invited Ashraf Khan on these programs and why I'll keep inviting him, because he is a parahasius just like me. He speaks truth to power. And more power to you, Ashraf Khan. Thank you so very much for joining
Thanks,
us.
Adil Raza, for inviting me again. I'm really, very thankful and really appreciate enough for you to giving me opportunities again and again. And I'd really love to do something in Urdu and Hindi to cater different
Sure,
platforms that
sure,
the message goes to massive masses and people
sure,
learn and actually get an understanding that
sure,
you can actually question the
sure,
power for your own right.
sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Take care.
Thank you.